Have you ever noticed how the clock always seems to strike 2 a.m. just before your body nudges you awake? The room is dark, the house is quiet. And yet, there you are, wide-eyed, alert, making your way to the bathroom once again. Feels routine, predictable, almost expected. But what if it didn't have to be? For millions of older adults across the United States, nighttime urination, or what doctors call nocturia, has quietly crept into their lives as a new normal. But here's the truth. It's not just aging. It's not something you have to put up with. In fact, one of the most common causes of those restless nights comes down to something surprisingly simple. When you drink water, this isn't about drinking less. Your body still needs hydration, perhaps now more than ever. But the timing of that hydration can make the difference between a full night's rest and 2 or 3 midnight interruptions. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less vasopressin, a hormone that tells the kidneys to slow down urine production while we sleep. Without enough of it, the kidneys keep working through the night, filling your bladder while your mind desperately wants to rest. Add to that a more sensitive bladder that now sends signals even when it's only a quarter full, and you've got the perfect recipe for disrupted sleep. But this cycle isn't permanent. It's not your fault. And you're not alone. Because when you understand how your body changes, and how to work with it instead of against it, sleep can return. Gently. Naturally. Starting with your next glass of water. Let's take a closer look at the ideal timing for hydration. The rhythm that your body, especially after age 60, understands best. According to specialists in geriatric medicine and urology, the majority of your daily water intake should happen between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. During these hours, your body is alert, your kidneys are most efficient, and your metabolism is naturally faster. This is when your system can process fluids, filter them gently, and empty the bladder without disturbing your sleep cycle. Think of hydration like sunlight, best absorbed during the day, not the evening. One effective strategy. Start your morning with a full glass of room temperature water. Not ice cold, which can shock digestion, and not hot, which may act as a mild diuretic. Follow with steady sips throughout the morning, especially around meals. By the time you reach mid-afternoon, your body has taken in most of what it needs. After 5 p.m., begin to reduce your intake. That doesn't mean you stop drinking water completely. Dehydration can also cause restless sleep. But replace large gulps with small sips. Be especially mindful of how much fluid is consumed after 7 p.m. Tom, a retired firefighter from Ohio, used to drink 3 glasses of water with his evening medications. He believed more was better. But after learning from his urologist that even 100 milliliters too much could disturb his night, he switched to smaller sips, just enough to swallow his pills. Within days, his nighttime bathroom visits dropped from 3 to 1, and he felt the difference by sunrise. It's not about restriction. It's about respecting the clock inside you. Now let's talk about a habit that seems smart, but trains your bladder all wrong: going to the bathroom just in case before bed. Sounds logical, doesn't it? Empty the tank so it won't wake you later. But here's what doctors are now saying. When you force your bladder to empty before it's actually full, you unintentionally begin a pattern called bladder overtraining. Over time, your bladder muscles and nerves start responding to smaller and smaller volumes. What used to feel comfortable now triggers urgency. Not because your bladder is truly full, but because it's learned to sound the alarm early. You may wake up at 2 a.m. not because you need to go, but because your bladder thinks it's time. Linda, a 67-year-old from Sacramento, had this exact issue. She developed a routine: bathroom at 10 p.m., 1 a.m., and again at 4. But with her doctor's guidance, she began retraining her bladder, only going when she truly felt full. It was difficult at first, but within 2 weeks, she was sleeping nearly 6 hours straight. There's also the issue of nighttime rituals. A warm cup of chamomile tea. A little bowl of clear broth. These comforting habits often fly under the radar. But your bladder counts every drop. Even light fluids at the wrong time add up, quietly filling the bladder while you sleep. So the solution is not to give up your rituals. It's to shift them earlier. Think 5:30 or 6 p.m. Let your body wind down gently, without overstimulating your kidneys or bladder. Because rest doesn't start when your head hits the pillow. It starts with the choices you make 2 hours. For many older adults, the path to better sleep begins not in the bedroom, but in the living room, the kitchen, and even in your favorite chair after dinner. You see, we often focus on big fixes, new mattresses, supplements, sleep aids. But sometimes, the answer lies in tiny lifestyle adjustments rooted in how your body naturally changes with time. Let's take a moment to talk about fluid-rich foods. Soups, stews, watery vegetables like cucumbers and tomatoes, even fruits like oranges or grapes, all contain fluids that your body must process just like a glass of water. If these are part of your evening meal, your kidneys remain active long after you've laid down to sleep. And while these foods are healthy, consuming them too close to bedtime quietly contributes to the bladder filling up just as your brain is trying to power down. That means more interruptions, more fatigue the next morning, and a growing belief that this is just part of getting old. But it's not. It's a missed opportunity to adjust the timing, not the diet. Let's revisit our friend Tom. In addition to changing when he drank water, he made one other small change, moving his salad to lunchtime and choosing steamed vegetables at dinner instead. That simple swap helped him cut out nearly 300 milliliters of evening fluid intake, without ever touching a water bottle. Another subtle factor is your evening activity level. If you're sitting for long periods before bed, especially with your legs down, fluid tends to accumulate in the lower extremities. Then, when you lie down, that fluid redistributes into the bloodstream, and guess what? Your kidneys respond by producing more urine. The fix: light movement. 10-minute walk after dinner. Gentle leg elevation while watching TV. Even ankle pumps or stretching while seated can help prevent that fluid shift from triggering midnight bathroom visits. And what about room temperature and sleepwear? Many seniors find themselves bundled in flannel pajamas, thick blankets, or heating pads. But excessive warmth can cause sweating, and sweating leads to thirst. That thirst can lead to sipping water just before bed, restarting the cycle again. Instead, aim for breathable cotton sleepwear, a cool but comfortable room temperature, and a lightweight blanket. It keeps the body calm and the bladder from being overstimulated by internal heat cues. Remember, your bladder is not your enemy. It's your messenger. And when it starts waking you at night, it's trying to tell you something about your habits. Not your worth, not your age. The secret lies in listening. When you shift hydration earlier, rethink late evening snacks, and treat your bladder with patience and care, you invite the body to sleep the way it was meant to. Gently, deeply, uninterrupted. Let's explore something that most people rarely think about: the psychology of nighttime waking. For many older adults, the pattern of waking up to use the bathroom becomes so ingrained that the brain begins to expect it, even when the bladder isn't truly full. It's a concept doctors call conditioned arousal. Over time, the body associates certain hours of the night with waking and urination, creating a behavioral loop that's hard to break. You might wake at 3 a.m., feel only a mild urge, but still go to the bathroom, out of habit or just in case. And once that pattern forms, it strengthens. Your sleep becomes fragmented. Your body forgets how to stay in deep rest. But just like this pattern formed, it can be gently retrained. Sleep specialists now suggest introducing a short pre-bed mindfulness ritual, one that calms the nervous system and gently tells the bladder to rest. Try this tonight. Sit quietly on the edge of your bed. Place one hand over your belly, the other on your chest. Take 5 deep, slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. With each breath, feel the abdomen expand, not just the chest. This simple act triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural relaxation response. Then, gently massage your lower abdomen in slow clockwise circles for 2 minutes. This light stimulation helps relax bladder nerves and reduce false signals of urgency. Over time, your body learns. This is the signal for sleep, not action. Let's talk about evening medications too. Many seniors take pills before bed, for blood pressure, arthritis, or diabetes. These often require water, but be mindful of how much. Instead of a full glass, Try just enough water to comfortably swallow the pill, about 2 to 3 ounces. And if the medicine makes you thirsty later, sip water with a teaspoon, not a gulp. This trick, used in urology clinics, can cut overnight bladder volume without compromising hydration. Now meet Janet, a 73-year-old from Asheville, North Carolina. For years, she believed her overactive bladder was irreversible. She'd wake up 3 times a night, every night, and sometimes wouldn't fall back asleep for hours. But when she began a new routine, front-loading her water intake before 3 p.m., doing belly breathing before bed, and limiting fluid intake to under 100 milliliters after 7 p.m., she noticed a change. Within 10 days, she woke only once per night. By the 3rd week, she had her first full night's sleep in almost 2 years. Her only regret: I wish someone had told me this sooner. So if you're still wondering whether this can work for you, know this: your body still remembers how to rest. Just needs you to guide it back. Now that we've discussed hydration timing, fluid-rich foods, and bladder training, let's dive into one more layer that affects nighttime urination in seniors: the silent connection between circulation, posture, and fluid redistribution. Throughout the day, gravity naturally pulls fluids downward, especially into the legs and ankles. This is why many older adults notice some evening swelling in their feet, even if it's subtle. But here's the crucial part: when you lie down at night, that fluid begins to move back up into the bloodstream, where it travels to the kidneys. And guess what the kidneys do with that fluid? They turn it into urine. That's why many people who don't drink much water after dinner still find themselves needing to go at 2 o'clock or 3 a.m. It's not about recent water intake. It's about fluid that's been sitting in your body all day. But this isn't a life sentence. In fact, it's one of the easiest patterns to correct. Here's what doctors now recommend. About 1 to 2 hours before bed, elevate your legs. You can lie down on the couch with your feet on the armrest, or place pillows under your legs while watching TV or reading. This helps drain excess fluid before you fall asleep, so the kidneys aren't surprised with a sudden flood the moment you lie flat in bed. Even better, short evening walk. Just 10 to 15 minutes after dinner can improve circulation, activate the lymphatic system, and reduce the burden on your kidneys at night. This simple habit, a stroll around the block, a few loops around your home, or even pacing gently while listening to calming music, can make a measurable difference in how much urine your body produces while you sleep. Now let's briefly talk about how you sleep. Yes, your sleeping position also plays a role. Many people default to sleeping on their back. But for those with nocturia, experts suggest trying the left side sleeping position. This position supports better kidney drainage, reduces pressure on the bladder, and can even improve digestion and circulation. It's gentle, restorative, and often leads to fewer false signals of urgency at night. Let's consider the story of George, a 70-year-old retired electrician from Milwaukee. George had been struggling with 3 to 4 bathroom trips every night. He didn't drink much water late, watched his salt, and still felt frustrated. But after being guided by a physical therapist, he made one change. He began sleeping on his left side with a pillow between his knees. The first few nights felt unfamiliar, but by the end of the week, he noticed a pattern. He only woke up once, and sometimes not at all. The improvement wasn't dramatic at first, but it was consistent. His rest felt deeper. His mornings clearer. His wife, who used to stir every time he got up, now slept through the night too. It was a domino effect, and it began with one gentle adjustment. And that brings us to another hidden contributor: temperature and thermoregulation. Many seniors have been conditioned to think warmth equals comfort: flannel pajamas, extra blankets, space heaters, and heavy quilts. But today's homes, especially in the US, are often well insulated, and the extra heat may lead to overheating during the night. Why does this matter? When the body overheats, it responds by sweating. And sweating leads to fluid imbalance, prompting a sensation of thirst. This is why many seniors instinctively sip water just before bed, or even keep a glass on their nightstand. That last-minute drink, though soothing, is often what pushes bladder volume just enough to disrupt deep sleep. The solution: Create a sleep environment that's cool and breathable. Set your thermostat between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Wear lightweight, moisture-wicking pajamas made from cotton or bamboo. Use a thin blanket instead of layers. And most importantly, give your body the ability to breathe, both through your skin and through your nervous system. Sleep, after all, is the most sacred recovery space we have. Let's not forget one final point: the emotional side of nighttime waking. Waking up at night doesn't just affect your bladder. It affects your confidence, your mood, your energy, and even your memory. Studies have shown that fragmented sleep in seniors is directly linked to impaired cognition, slower reflexes, and increased risk of falls. It's not just about convenience, it's about quality of life. But here's the empowering truth: most seniors are not suffering from disease. They're suffering from disconnection, a slow drift away from the body's changing rhythm. What worked at 40 no longer works at 70. And that's not a failure. It's an invitation to adapt. Think of your body as a lifelong companion. It's not betraying you. It's evolving. And all it asks in return is that you listen differently now, with more gentleness, more awareness, more timing. Hydration is still essential. Water is still your ally. But when and how you hydrate, that's where your power lies. Let's quickly revisit what we've learned so far. Front-load your hydration. Drink the majority of your water between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. After 5 p.m., reduce intake steadily, especially avoiding large volumes after 7 p.m. Count all liquids, not just water. This includes tea, milk, fruit, soup, and broth. Don't go just in case. Only visit the bathroom when you truly feel the need. Elevate your legs 1 to 2 hours before bed to reduce fluid buildup in your lower body. Consider left side sleeping for better kidney and bladder function. Maintain a cool sleeping environment and wear light, breathable fabrics. Take deep breaths and gentle belly massages before sleep to calm bladder nerves. Take nighttime meds with minimal water, just enough to swallow comfortably. Above all, give your body permission to rest, and it will respond with trust. Your sleep is not broken. Your bladder is not broken. You're not broken. You're simply in a new season, and seasons require new rhythms. The path to deeper sleep and fewer bathroom trips isn't paved with pills or frustration. It's built on small, steady, science-backed choices that honor the truth of your body. You can wake up feeling rested. You can reclaim your nights. Because restful sleep isn't just for the young. It's for the wise. Let's talk about what hydration timing really means. Not just for bladder health, but for your entire sleep-wake cycle. As we age, our body's circadian rhythms, the natural cycles that regulate sleep, hormone release, kidney function, and even bladder sensitivity begin to shift. These internal rhythms, once steady and almost invisible, start to respond more dramatically to subtle environmental and behavioral changes. Melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep, begins to decline in both duration and intensity. Sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented. What used to be a deep 8-hour rest becomes 4 or 5 hours, interrupted by moments of wakefulness. And often, it's not pain or noise that wakes you. It's the quiet pressure of a not yet full bladder. The truth is, even a mild sensation, just a small amount of fluid in the bladder, can feel like urgency when the nervous system is more sensitive and the bladder's stretch receptors are less tolerant than they used to be. And that's why when you drink matters just as much as how much. When you give your body water at the right times, in alignment with your circadian cycle and natural kidney rhythms, you support not only sleep, but the entire internal clock that governs energy, digestion, blood pressure, and immune restoration. Here's a helpful way to structure your hydration across the day. Not randomly, not reactively, but rhythmically. Morning, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Activate the body gently. Start your day with a glass of room temperature water as soon as you wake up. Overnight, your body loses moisture through breathing and light sweating, even if you don't feel it. That first glass signals to your brain that the day has begun. It gently kickstarts digestion, encourages bowel movement, and instructs your kidneys to begin processing fluids efficiently. Between breakfast and noon, aim to drink another 2 to 3 glasses. Sip steadily rather than gulping. And try to hydrate before your coffee or tea, as caffeine can act as a mild diuretic. Midday 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. front-load your fluids. This is your golden window. Your body is fully awake, your kidneys are most efficient, and your metabolism is at its peak. During this time, aim to consume 70 to 80% of your total daily water intake. That might mean 4 to 5 glasses depending on your individual needs. This window also includes fluid-rich foods, such as fruit, clear soups, steamed vegetables, and herbal teas, which contribute to your hydration without overloading the bladder. Importantly, drinking more during this period reduces thirst later, meaning you're less likely to crave water at night. Evening, after 4 p.m. prepare the body for rest. After 4 p.m. begin to taper your fluid intake. This doesn't mean stop drinking entirely. It means being intentional. Drink small sips only when truly thirsty. After 6 p.m., avoid large servings of liquids. And after 7:30 p.m., unless your doctor has instructed otherwise, keep it under 150 milliliters, about half a glass. This doesn't only reduce bladder load, it also allows your kidneys and liver to wind down for rest, aligning with the body's natural energy cycle. Why does this matter? This hydration rhythm supports multiple systems. It helps your kidneys filter waste more efficiently while you're awake. It stabilizes blood pressure and fluid balance, preventing overnight spikes. It reduces bladder stimulation during your lightest stages of sleep. And perhaps most importantly, it lowers your risk of nighttime accidents. Ignoring this rhythm doesn't just cost you sleep, it can cost you your safety. According to CDC data, millions of seniors suffer injuries from nighttime falls each year, often while rushing to the bathroom in low light, with poor balance, or from a groggy state. It's not the bladder that's dangerous. It's the sudden awakening, the disorientation, and the need to navigate your home when your brain is still half asleep. A real-world example. Consider Richard, a 75-year-old from Maine. He had no major health issues, ate well and walked daily. But he had one routine: iced herbal tea every evening around 8 p.m. He believed it helped him relax. But what he didn't realize was that herbal teas often contain mild natural diuretics, ingredients that encourage the kidneys to produce more urine. Not only was the fluid volume increasing his bladder load, but the herbs were actually stimulating his kidneys. He would wake up twice, sometimes 3 times each night. After speaking with a dietitian, Richard shifted his tea time to 5:30 p.m., drank most of his water by 2 p.m., and stopped sipping after dinner. Within a week, he reported sleeping 6 hours uninterrupted, something he hadn't experienced in over a decade. His energy improved. So did his mood. All without medication, just timing. Let's bust a few common myths. Crossmark: drinking less water will help me sleep better. Truth: dehydration stresses the kidneys, thickens the blood, and often increases nighttime urine production as the body attempts to flush excess toxins during rest. Front-loading hydration during the day is far more effective. Crossmark: waking to pee is just normal at my age. Truth: it's common, yes, but not inevitable. Most cases are behavioral, not pathological, and with simple adjustments, many people find dramatic improvements. Crossmark: it's because of my prostate. Truth: prostate enlargement may contribute to urinary frequency in men, but bladder sensitivity, hydration timing, and hormone levels affect both men and women. Don't assume it's just your prostate. Crossmark: a warm drink before bed helps me relax. Truth: it may soothe you emotionally, but it still adds fluid to your bladder at the worst possible time. Try a warm compress, breathwork, or light stretching instead. In the end, it's not about restriction. It's about realignment. Your body still wants to work with you. It still wants to rest, heal, and restore. And when you honor its rhythms, not fight them, that healing becomes effortless. So tonight, consider trying something different. Drink your last full glass by 6 p.m. Replace late-night tea with a calming routine. Give your legs time to drain fluid with a walk or leg elevation. And when you wake in the night, pause. Ask, is this urge real, or just familiar? Because your body is not betraying you. It's inviting you to listen more closely, to act more gently, and to rediscover the peace of sleep, not as a memory, but as something still possible. And remember, it's not about drinking less. It's about drinking smart. Drink your last full glass of water before dinner. Choose lighter meals, fewer salty or spicy snacks, and avoid sipping just to fill time. Many of us reach for a drink out of habit. Not hunger, not thirst. But in the evening hours, habitual sipping quietly fills the bladder, even if you don't feel it right away. After 7 p.m., drink only when truly thirsty, and only in small, mindful amounts. If you're taking nighttime medications, use just enough water to swallow them comfortably. You don't need a full glass. Just a few ounces will do. Before getting into bed, try elevating your legs on a pillow or low stool for 15 to 20 minutes. This helps redistribute fluid that may have pooled in the lower body throughout the day. It gives your kidneys the chance to filter it out before you fall asleep, not after. And finally, pause. Place your hands on your belly. Breathe deeply. Let the nervous system quiet itself. Turn off harsh lights, step away from glowing screens, and lie on your left side, which helps optimize digestion and relieve pressure on your bladder. And if your bladder speaks to you, listen. But also ask yourself, is this urge real, or just familiar? Not every signal requires a response. Not every habit must be obeyed. Sometimes the body whispers only because it's been trained to. Give yourself a moment. Let the body settle. You may be surprised at what it remembers. You may even rediscover what true rest feels like. Because better sleep doesn't begin in the bedroom. Begins with rhythm. And rhythm begins with you. There's something profoundly empowering about realizing your body still listens. Even now. Even after years of disrupted sleep, quiet frustration, and the belief that this is just how aging works. It isn't. Not entirely. Small changes, rooted in understanding and guided by science, can lead to deep transformation. And it's not just about avoiding bathroom trips at 2 a.m. It's about waking up feeling rested, moving through your day with clarity, feeling more confident, more steady, more present. No one teaches us how to care for the aging body. But that doesn't mean we can't learn now. Gently, wisely, without shame. Tonight, give your body that gift. Hydrate with purpose. Wind down with intention. Listen and let go. And when the body feels respected, it responds. Often more quickly than you expect. So remember, the solution was never to drink less, but to drink smarter. And the peace you're looking for. It begins one glass, one evening, one choice at a time. The woman or man who understands their rhythm doesn't suffer sleep. They protect it. They honor it. They reclaim it.